That's it from BBC News at 1. Goodbye from me and the team here on BBC One. We'll join the news teams where you are. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Look North. The main news from our region this lunchtime. A second day of protests at a school where pupils were shown a controversial image of the Prophet Muhammad. And police are urging people to stay at home this weekend before coronavirus restrictions ease on Monday. Good afternoon. For the second day, protesters have gathered outside a West Yorkshire school after pupils were shown a controversial image of the Prophet Muhammad. Yesterday, a teacher at Batley Grammar School was suspended pending an investigation. The Department for Education has condemned the protests and any teacher intimidation. Corinne Wheatley reports.
Good afternoon. Well, protesters are here for a second day outside Batley Grammar School after a row erupted over an image of the Prophet Muhammad which was shown to pupils in a lesson on Monday. Now, there were dozens of protesters here yesterday and around 20 to 30 we understand earlier this morning, but there are only a handful here at the moment. Now, the school has already responded. The head teacher has apologised and said that the member of staff apologises and that member of staff has been suspended while the school investigates the matter. Protesters that I've spoken to here this morning say they want to keep things very peaceful, but there have been concerns around intimidation and threats made towards the teacher. It's prompted responses from both Conservative peer Baroness Varsi and the Community Secretary Robert Jenrick.
This is a matter that the school now needs to consider carefully. We don't know the context here, and so it's not appropriate for me to question that. But we must see teachers protected, and no one should be feeling intimidated or threatened as they go into school. And the scenes that I've seen yesterday and this morning in Batley are deeply unsettling.
Unfortunately, this matter has been hijacked by extremists on both sides to kind of create this culture war. And what we're forgetting in all of this is who the important party in all of this, which is the kids and their learning.
West Yorkshire Police were on the scene yesterday and they've maintained a minimal presence here today as well. In a statement, the Department for Education says it's never acceptable to threaten or intimidate teachers. They say they want to encourage dialogue between parents and the school when issues like this emerge. They also say schools are free to include a full range of issues, ideas and materials in their curriculum, but that needs to be balanced with respect and tolerance.
Corinne Wheatley reporting there. Police in Yorkshire are urging people to stay at home this weekend before the government eases lockdown restrictions on Monday. Officers say they've already seen people relaxing their behaviour as some tourist areas are getting busier. They're reminding us that infection rates are still high in some places. Phil Bodmer has more.
Well, there is no doubt many of us are just itching to get out into the great outdoors, but police are reminding people that the rule of 6 remains in force until Monday, and therefore, however tempted they are this weekend to come to tourist hotspots like Malham, please not to travel, to stay local, to stay at home where possible. This is what Chief Inspector Rachel Wood told me a little earlier on.
The rule of 6 does not come in until Monday the 29th of March. You must not think that the police will take a different line because it's easing soon. Until the date of those regulations, that's what is in place. And my plea to everyone is to be extremely careful, follow the regulations until it's safe to resume a more normal way of living.
I think it's fair to say people are really confused about the stay local advice. What is the definition of local? Can you clarify it for us?
Well, we rely on the guidance given us by the government, which haven't yet received. But the message from us would be to try and minimise any travel. There isn't a definition per se of what local actually means. So we would just be encouraging people, we welcome visitors to our county when it's safe to do so. But we still need to remember that infection rates are high. So we would encourage people to minimise any unnecessary travel, but we can only work within the bounds of what the regulations and guidance says.
Well, there is no doubt places like Malham and along the coast in Robin Hood's Bay are popular at any time of the year. The expectation is once the restrictions are eased further, these places will become very busy. We have been talking to local businesses who say they're desperate to welcome people back, but they're asking people to stay away until the restrictions are fully lifted on Monday, the 29th of March, and then again on April the 12th. We'll have more on this tonight on Look North at 6:30.
Phil Bodmer there. Well, on Monday, if you are planning to meet locally within the rule of 6, or you're excited about your outdoor sport restarting again, please do get in touch and let us know. You can email us at look.north@bbc.co.uk or contact us on social media. Just search for BBC Yorkshire on Facebook or at BBC Look North on Twitter. Next, thousands of Asda workers have won a major victory at the Supreme Court in their battle for equal pay. The court upheld an earlier ruling that lower paid staff at the Leeds-based supermarket giant, who are mostly women, can now compare themselves with higher paid warehouse workers, who are mostly men. The GMB union, which has members involved in the case, has called it amazing news. Sport now, and qualification for the Tokyo Olympics this year continues in various disciplines, and there were mixed feelings for the first 2 men to cross the line today at the race walking trial in London. Both the winner, Callum Wilkinson, and second place, Tom Bosworth, are Leeds Beckett University graduates. But Wilkinson came up short of the Olympic qualifying time and will have to try again in the coming weeks. Bosworth has already secured his Tokyo place, but has other reasons to be happy after missing last summer's racing through illness. Next, a project to bring smiling faces back to the streets of Bradford has been launched in the city. Billboards featuring smiling local people have been put up in a bid to bring more happiness to Bradford. The R Street Gallery project said it wanted to reveal the smiles which are being hidden by face masks during the pandemic, and they'd like more people to send in their smiling selfies.
It's simple and it's free. You can give a smile to somebody and it can make somebody's day, and it's entirely free to do. And it passes between cultures and across languages, and it's just a lovely thing, really. And obviously with face coverings as well, it's nice to kind of get people's mouths and smiles out there, because we're not really seeing that. It's a bit hostile at the minute. So yeah, it was just a really simple response really to what was happening.
Oh, it's a lovely idea. Well, Abby's here. Abby, is the weather going to make us smile?
Well, it made us smile yesterday. We took a smiling selfie, actually, didn't we? When we walked the dogs in the sunshine. I'm afraid it's going to turn a bit colder over the next couple of days, but only briefly. So colder this weekend, actually from this afternoon onwards, but then very mild at the start of next week. This afternoon, the early rain clears, so brighter, drier, still some showers, but it will feel very chilly. Quite a lot going on the pressure chart. We've really ramped things up. A real squeeze on the isobars, particularly overnight into Sunday, where we could see gusts in excess of 50 miles an hour. We might even see a few wintry showers this afternoon and overnight tonight. So don't be surprised over higher ground in the Pennines if you wake up to a little bit of snow first thing tomorrow morning. So looking at the satellite, then you've seen this area of cloud and rain. That's clearing away now. So an improvement in terms of sunshine during the afternoon, sunny spells, but also the risk of a couple of showers. And given the drop in temperatures, that weather front clearing away really has opened the door to the fresher air. We might see a couple of those showers just turning a little bit wintry. Temperature-wise, anywhere between around 9 and 12 Celsius. So overnight tonight, then it will stay quite blustery, and we will continue to see showers or longer spells of rain, a real wintry mix on the graphics. So a mix of rain, sleet and snow, predominantly over around 300 or 400 metres, but perhaps in 1 or 2 places to lower levels for a time too, with those temperatures dropping into the low single figures. So perhaps a bit of a shock to the system as you wake up first thing tomorrow morning, but any lying snow will very quickly thaw away. We will, however, continue to see 1 or 2 showers first thing, and then a ridge of high pressure will keep things actually largely dry and settled. So a good deal of sunshine tomorrow, turning a little cloudier later, but it will feel fresher. Highs of 9 or 10 Celsius. The wind strengthening tomorrow afternoon, then very wet and windy overnight into Sunday. Anna.
Thanks, Abby. Well, that's it from the lunchtime team. Amanda will, of course, be back with more at the 6:30 tonight. Have a good afternoon.
Oh my word, that's brilliant! The Super League show